Welcome back into Wave Listens Live. I'm Michael Vanover. Joined now from a familiar face to the program. It's attorney Jim Desmond from Desmond Law Office. Jim, welcome back.
Michael, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We love having you here. For folks at home that haven't maybe seen one of your interviews in the past or one of your commercials or whatever, tell us a little bit about how long you've been practicing and exactly what type of law you do.
I only do car wrecks. I've been doing car wrecks for over 20 years. I used to be with one of the big firms years ago. I do it all by myself. People reach me directly on my cell phone. I think that's important. I wish more attorneys in town would be doing that, just because of the fact that, again, it is a situation where clients should be able to get hold of their attorney, bottom line, from the first phone call to the end of the case. And, you know, they always say the biggest complaint against attorneys is not malpractice, it's lack of communication.
You know, I think we hear this a lot, Jim, in the market. People are not sure, you know, do I have a case? Should I call? I don't want to bother you with something that maybe. Talk about that, and if people that are watching that maybe have been in an accident or whatever, that the call is free and you really don't judge. I mean, you don't.
No, not at all, because not everybody wants to do something. Even if you have a case, you don't necessarily want to do something. I mean, I've been doing this for over 20 years. All I do is car wrecks. So in that first phone call, we can figure out, do you have a case? Do you want to proceed with it? Is it worth to do so? And you get good information, and it doesn't cost you anything. Everybody thinks, sometimes they'll be like, oh, well, what's your upfront fees? I don't charge anything upfront. My fees are basically at the end of the case. I charge a percentage of what we recover. So, you know, that first phone call, I love it because many times if I'm in front of the computer too, I can get the police report, have it right in front, give that to a client as a courtesy or a potential client, you know, just as a courtesy alone, and say, hey, this is what I think would be the issue, and they can decide, because not everybody wants to use their own car insurance. They don't necessarily want to make a claim. It's up to them. But the reason I use my cell phone, and still do, I've done it from day one, is that first part of the case is kind of crucial. I always say garbage in, garbage out. It's like a computer. When a personal injury case is the same way. So it's, you know, what have you said to the insurance companies? Who are you getting your treatment from? Did you go to the emergency room? All these things that are determined right off the bat for the possibility that you could be in a lawsuit in a couple of years.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say, Jim. I think so many times people, they don't know what they don't know, right? Like Doug was saying in the previous segment, he knows flooring. He doesn't know law, and that's what you know. And I think that there are things that people may think, oh, I didn't know that was a big deal. That may be a big deal. Is that fair?
Exactly. Well, and I'll give you a prime example, because I know car accidents really well, and I know other areas of the law not so great. I don't try to practice them. I don't want to do them. But right off the bat, everybody will tell people to use your own car insurance for paying your first $10,000 of your medical bills. That's the no-fault part of the state of Kentucky, that you have to use it, which is true. But you can also reserve it right off the bat. So if you reserve it, then you can preserve it for potentially for prescription reimbursements, copay reimbursements, lost wages, all these other elements, rather than letting a big emergency room bill come eat it up, and then you're like, how do I get my treatment paid for?
So people watching right now that maybe is resonating, they didn't know they had a case, they didn't know that was important, and now you're telling them. Talk about a little bit about your ideal client, like who is out there that you would be thinking, I know I can help that person.
My clients, they're amazingly smart, to be honest, because they realize it's outside their area, and they just want help with it. They understand it's not like the big firms try to portray that, oh, a car accident's a lottery, ticket. It's not that. They get that. They understand that basically when you have a car accident, it's kind of like you just took a big puzzle, threw it on the floor, and again, if you can get an attorney in there that can put that puzzle back together in the proper way, the quickest way possible, that's going to be the most efficient way of doing things. So my clients tend to be people that, ordinary people that just realize this is outside my realm, and I'm getting bad advice from an insurance company, I'm getting bad advice from friends. I try to call a big firm and I'm getting a computer. They just tend to like customer service and realize that, yes, you put it with someone who just does only car accidents, and again, they tend to do better than average.
Let's talk about that a little bit. You touched on your cell phone, so obviously reachability, being able to get a hold of you is a huge factor, and I know you hear how much your clients like that. But part of it is empathy, right? You feel, if somebody is in a car accident and they don't have their vehicle, you understand how debilitating that can be when they need to get their kids to school or to get to their job. You help them along the process.
But that's why I can hustle more than average. Okay, I hate to say that. Back to back again, I worked at a big firm, intake, secretary, case manager, attorney. You have all these people. If I get it, I'm going to hustle a little bit more, and I kind of question myself a lot in the beginning, especially when I sign up a case. What's been done in the car? What else do we need to do? Is this person getting the treatment? We might do a lot of first follow-up phone calls, because again, I don't want anybody to be in a car accident. I don't know if people realize that. I don't want them to be in a car accident. I signed somebody up the other day. I feel for the gentleman. We've got a hearing loss, okay, and it's probably a permanent hearing loss. and from the car wreck. And again, so the first steps I'm doing is trying to get the car part moving forward, but also how much insurance is on this other driver? Do we have the underinsured on his own policy we can go for? All these questions, because the only thing I can do to help him, obviously since I'm not a doctor, is to kind of expedite things and give him answers to his questions.
Yeah, and clearly your passion is here. You love what you do. We got about 30 seconds left, Jim. So again, talk about the experience of working with you, and if somebody picks up the phone right now, calls your cell phone, and asks for updates as they go through the process, you're there for them, right?
Yeah, from minute one. I actually signed up somebody on the south end right before this. It's the cell phone from minute one to the end of the case. I get phone calls and texts after a case is closed about different things. It doesn't matter.
And so you service all parts of town and everything like that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I pride myself on good Google reviews, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. So.
All right, Attorney Jim Desmond, thank you for being here today. We
Always
appreciate
a pleasure.
it. Again, cell phone is on the screen, or attorneydesmond.com.